Let's take a look at how to convert a quote into a job in Service 365. Go into the quote, and you can see this is a fairly typical quote that I might build out for a customer. Within my worksheet, I've added one item for labour and 2 items for material. If I go into my scope, I've added 3 scope entries, and if I go back to the details tab, you can see I've set the quote price at $3,000. So to convert this into a job, I need to first send it to the customer and get their acceptance. So I'll go to the hamburger menu and print preview. And assuming I'm happy with the quote here, I will download the PDF, which sets the quote to waiting customer acceptance. So the quote is downloaded to my computer and I can now send it to the customer. Go back into the quote, which is now locked because it's waiting customer acceptance, so I can't edit the quote at this stage. And then in the real world, the customer would accept the work and say, yes, please go ahead with this project, I agree to the price. So if I go to my hamburger menu again, I can go cut new job, and I can say, yes, I want to do that. Assuming I received a verbal acceptance, I would enter that there, or the customer PO number if they provided one. Click OK, and now the quote is closed and the job is open. So I'm going to show you how the information that we entered in the quote transfers through to the job. So firstly, within line items. If I go to my line items, you'll remember we added 2 material entries for this job, and they are showing up down here within the line items tab. So all the information I entered to do with the cost and the quantity required have all transferred through. At this stage, I could delete those from the job, I could add new parts, I could change the quantity required. I still have complete flexibility about which parts I want to use within the job, regardless of what I entered at the quote stage. Okay. Also want to show you how the tasks, the scope entries that we entered on the quote transfer through as well. So if we go to our hamburger menu and job tasks, and these are the 3 scope entries that I added within the quote. So if you add it as a scope entry within the quote, transfers through to the job as a task. I can mark them as complete, I can delete them, I can edit them. Again, I still have complete flexibility about what to do with this information now that I'm through to the job stage. So we'll close this window. And let's take a look at the financial elements. So if I look over here, you'll remember we quoted the customer $3,000. So that's the maximum balance that I can invoice on this job. Now, even if my costs spiral and my costs go up to $5,000 or $10,000, I can only invoice the customer for $3,000. We can only invoice them for the maximum amount that we quoted them in the first place. You'll notice that my material cost, my resource cost, and my margin have all reset. And that's because although I estimated the cost that I was going to incur, I haven't actually incurred them yet. So as we commit parts to the job, as we add time and expense to the job, all these figures will update in real time. And the quote that was closed will show us a 1 opportunity. So we can actually go back into reports and we can report on that quote as a 1 opportunity because we converted the quote into a job. So that's how you convert quotes into jobs in Service 365.